It's an international week. We know that England in action hosting Greece in the Nations League on Thursday, and thereafter they travel to face Finland on Sunday.
So, we're 8 games into the Premier League season and we're already on to our second, yep, you heard right, our second international break. England play Greece on Thursday, then England play Finland on Sunday. Oh, sorry, just the thought of it's putting me to sleep. I think I'd rather watch something a bit more competitive than that, like Strictly Come Dancing or even EastEnders. Thursday night, EastEnders is back on.
The next 2 years of Lee Carsley as the England manager is going to be a stroll in the park because he's going to have the ease of easing through the group stages of whatever competition we're in.
A stroll in the park is a lot harder than some of these teams we're going to be facing in competitive matches. I mean, half of them are part-time bus drivers and playing football on the side, you know, and we're basically giving Lee Carsley the England job because he's beaten a team full of bus drivers. Anyway, as you see me have a stroll in the park, it's fucking hard work, mate.
It will not alter the landscape of Gareth Southgate, and Lee Carsley will either win something or they won't. And that's the difficult questions they have to answer, and they're not going to be able to answer those questions until they play meaningful opposition.
By the time we play someone meaningful, Mr. Jordan, it'll be at the World Cup, and it's a bit too late then, isn't it? We're already going to give him the job by then, so we've got to base it on giving it to him beating part-time bloody bus drivers. And also, how can Southgate never won nothing? And then we've got Southgate 2.0 in, Lee Carsley came up the same way. Never been a manager. He managed the under-21s. So are we going to win anything with Southgate 2.0?
And the next step, I think he just has to continue what Gareth was doing, but maybe just, you know, a little bit more urgency. I think that's the next.
Yeah, our good old Waz has stepped in with his 2 cents now. Mr. Rooney, he says, continue with what Southgate was doing, just with a bit more urgency. One, do not continue with what Southgate was doing because it wasn't a winning. We didn't win nothing for our starters, right? Yeah, we got to a few finals. Yeah, he's probably been one of the best England managers, but like, he weren't putting players in on merit, was he? He had his first 11 for years. It was boring in the end. I knew the England squad before he did, mate. You know what I mean? It was the same old players. So no, let's put players in on merit.
They've got time on their side, which they always knew that they had done. This is a tried and tested formula already. We've seen it be successful with Gareth Southgate moving up through the England under-21s.
I mean, we've got time on our side. Old Faye Carruthers said. Yeah, I agree with it until we haven't got fucking time on our side. Till you get to that World Cup and it's like, oh shit, this geezer's not, Southgate 2.0 is not the one, but it's too late by then. So time is all relative at the end of the day. Yeah, we've got time until you ain't got no bloody time. And then she says, it's tried and tested. Listen, when you win trophies, that's tried and tested. Like the Spain manager, yeah, it worked for them. It worked for them. That's tried and tested. He got away with winning a trophy. For England, it's not tried and tested because you ain't won a trophy. We ain't won a trophy. We've been so close, but we just couldn't get over the line. So don't tell me it's tried and tested.
Simon, when you look at it in another way...
Tried and tested is all relative. It gets trotted out as being tried and tested. Tried and tested is Luis de la Fuentes. That's tried and tested because it's been promoted from within and won something.
Thank you, Simon Jordan. That's exactly my thoughts on it too. Tried and tested, yes, for the Spain team it worked, but it's not tried and tested for England, just like I said prior. So until you win a trophy, that's when it's tried and tested.
So the fact that Gareth Southgate presided over a period of time where the international opposition was probably at its weakest, while our squad was at its strongest, and yet we still managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, doesn't feel like tried and tested to me. It was better than the crap we served up before.
It's better than the crap we got served up before. Couldn't have put it better myself, Mr. Jordan. He's so right. England had probably the best team in world football nationally. And the oppositions we were playing were pony, mate. You know, especially in that Euros, we were playing pony teams. That's only when we got to the final against Spain, you know, they were half decent.
Whereas once upon a time, international football was the pinnacle of football. It's not anymore. Domestic teams are better than the international teams. You know, you put the best domestic team against the best Brazilian, the Brazilian national side, you'd probably find Man City would beat them. And so with those things in mind, there is a dynamic that's very different.
See, I'm not going to sit here and say playing for your country is not the pinnacle, because it is the pinnacle of any football player's career. Like, you know, when you're standing there in a major tournament and you're singing that national anthem, It's a beautiful thing, no doubt about it. That's the pinnacle.
So whilst I'm slightly offended that someone that clearly doesn't have the winning criteria to be an international manager is going to get the job.
And that's what we were saying prior about it's lost its pinnacle feel, the international job. Back in the day, you had to earn the right to be the international manager. You had to have merits coming out your arse, you know what I mean? Now we're giving it to someone who's going to beat a fucking team full of part-time bus drivers and fucking window cleaners. Doesn't make sense. That's why it's lost its shine, the international job. You know, just give it to the geezer who's managed the under-21s. Fuck it. And that's why Simon Jordan is offended. I'm quite offended after that, actually, myself. Come to think of it, he's right. We should all be offended by that, you know. Because let's just get any old Tom, Dick or Harry off the fucking streets. Yeah, stop fucking cleaning windows, mate. I've got a better job for you right now. Come. Let's go to St George's Park.
But then you've got Luis de la Fuentes over here, who isn't the best in class by any credential, getting the job of the national side and producing a side that wins.
And then he wins a tournament.
That's what I'm saying. So just because it worked for the Spain manager, and he's come up the same way as Southgate and Southgate 2.0, Lee Carsley, that's just because it's worked for him. Now, not that we're following suit, but we're committing to the fact that it does work, and we can win it because he's won something. We can win something. I mean, what kind of theory and blueprint is that? We've tried it for how many tournaments with Southgate? It didn't work. So just because the Spain manager, Fuentes or whatever his name is, it worked for him, and fair play to him. Spain were amazing that tournament. He got them playing ball. Doesn't mean it's going to work for fucking England. You know, like I said, it's been tried. We've tried it for the last few years with Southgate. Before fucking Fuentes was doing it.
Is it Carsley's going to have to go some to lose this job?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to have to be a remarkable achievement for him not to get it.
You heard it. I mean, yeah, they're right. It's going to take a lot for Southgate 2.0, Lee Carsley, not to get the job. You know, because he's going to be playing against teams full of bus drivers, part-time window cleaners, shelf stackers. So if you don't come out looking good and getting the England job, then something's not right. But can you imagine if he does fail? So the whole faker others, what she was saying earlier about we've got time on our hands. I told you, it's all relative. You know, a year from now, I mean, we could be doing utter shit, and now we're thinking, shit, now, do we change? Do we not change? Do we change? Let's change. Right, fuck it, bring in someone else. And now we've got minimal time to get the team ready for the World Cup. So, yeah, it's a hard decision. Do you make him manager and just commit to it? Make him manager now, commit to it, or do you see how it goes? And then, I mean, he's got to fuck up so badly not to get the job. But can you imagine if he does? Jeez, I don't even want to think about it. I can't stop. I can't even think about it.
All I want from him is, you know, people are saying, you know, build a team around Bellingham, don't build a team around anyone. Build a team and let the best players be able to express themselves in that team. Don't worry about trying to get Foden and Cole Palmer and Jude Bellingham into the midfield.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. You can't just build a team around one player. It's build a team. So if that was a problem with Southgate, he built a team and he never swayed away from it. That team stayed the first 11. It don't matter how good anyone was playing. It didn't matter. They ain't getting the team. I've got my first 11. Like I said earlier, I knew the team before Southgate knew the fucking team. I think we all did. He always played the same players. It weren't picked on merit. Now we need to change that. Bang them in on merit. Be more ruthless. Drop players. Don't have to fucking force in Foden, Bellingham, Cole Palmer. They can't fit in. If you can fit them all in fair, and we're playing well, fair play. But don't do the old Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes where we're trying to squeeze all these world-class players in, and you know, too many cooks spoil the broth, mate. So we don't want that, okay? Do we install Southgate 2.0, Lee Carsley as the England manager, and hope 6 months prior to the World Cup in 2026 we ain't walking around with our fucking pants pulled down? I have seen stranger things happen. I've seen us go 1-0 down to San Marino in 7 seconds. I've seen the old Steve McLaren fuck job, and I've seen us lose to Iceland, you know, so when Roy Hodgson was the manager. So do we trust Southgate 2.0, Lee Carsley, or not? I don't know. That's up to you. Comment below what you think. If you don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Sports Almanac, and follow me on TikTok.